the theme for our webinar today, Female Trailblazers in Advanced Project Management. Our speakers today, Bello from Nigeria, Tooba Mirza from Pakistan, Ifeanyi Francis-Shokoya from Nigeria as well, and Hanan Almaziad from Saudi Arabia.
So we go quickly into the meat of this conversation. We have, very accomplished people on this panel, and they're going to be sharing their rich experiences with all of us. So it's going to be a conversation, not just a question and answer session. It's going to be a conversation, but I'll have them. I actually wanted them to introduce themselves, their background, but I don't anymore. So I'll first of all throw a question to them, which inspired them to seek a profession, a career in project management. I'll go in this order. If you will come first, Hanan will come second, Karen, Tooba in that particular order. So ladies, you have the floor. You've been well introduced. We have global audience from around the world. Welcome everybody you're tuning in from. So if you have the floor, well, what inspired you to seek a career in project management?
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say thank you to Adebola for doing a fantastic job introducing the ladies in the house. Secondly, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Taufik, Mr. Fem, and then my fellow attendees here. Thank you so much for celebrating us, and thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. So I'll go straight to the question. My career in project management, unbelievably, it started when during my first degree. My first degree is in computer information systems, and then there was a course on project management, and the course was telling me, okay, I had to be versatile, I had to be able to innovate, I had to be able to create, that I could project management, I could lead, I could work with matter experts. So I could bring a doctor, I could bring a business analyst, I could bring an IT specialist, I could bring a CEO, bring them all together and tell them, no, this is the way we can identify solutions that are suitable for the organization's needs. So being able to do this was an inspiration, and that was what led me to say, okay, once I'm done with, and then my course also supported it. It was like an intermediary between computer information systems and management. That was very good for me.
So are there any advantages for women in projects, program, and portfolio management? You've done this for over 15 years, right? And I have engaged project managers, and the best set of project managers that I've worked with are women. I can say that boldly. So, what are the advantages for women? Is there something that you guys bring to the table that is different? I hear that women by default can multitask, or they are, by default, they are project managers. Should we all men leave the scene for women to become project managers so that we can all, just learn from you? So what are the advantages for women?
I mean, thank you, Taufik. This is a really great question. And I think that you have sort of answered it all. When you say women are great at multitasking, I mean, if you live in a household and you have a woman in your household, you can also testify, that is just a statement of fact. I would not say anything about men being equally able to multitask, but that is definitely one skill project managers or program managers need. I mean, women in project management, I think that they are exposed to it anyway, knowingly or unknowingly, by reason of the nurturing role they play, in our individual lives, whether as a mother, a sister, a daughter, or wife, girlfriend, it's often said that we carry our true selves everywhere. And I believe that it also includes to our professional lives or work environment. there are many schools of thought, that argue that just by virtue of being female, it's easier for you to gain access to clients, or even get on better with them. Clients may be more willing to talk to women than men, maybe sometimes, and then more willing to take bad news from women. And don't quote me on that. And thinking through, how what advantages there are for women, there are a few adjectives that come to mind. Women are really described as conscientious people. Other adjectives would be diligent, industrious, assiduous, maybe careful, meticulous, thorough. And I mean, it just generally implies a desire to do a task well, to take obligations to others seriously. Conscientious people tend to be efficient and very organized. So I think that women bring a lot to the table, when it comes to project management. We've got great interpersonal communication. We're able to talk to so many people, and even, verbal and non-verbal communication works well with women. Teamwork is another strong area. Studies have found that women significantly work better in a team, or gravitate more towards team management style, than men. And, they have a high regard for people or tasks that they are being given. We've got this empathy or compassion. It can be argued that women are more sensitive, if you like, in caring and showing concern for staff. And even the work that they do, these are all strengths that could be brought to bear in a project management field. And I think that having a woman on a team is a great addition to any team.
Okay, Karen, the way you're going, it seems to me that we all the men in the house need to just we need to resign from project management and get women and start grooming more women to be project managers.
And to add to the Karen's very, very thorough description, women can resolve conflicts very tactfully than men can.
Oh, fantastic. So that explains why. Yeah, that explains why at iCentra we have a ratio of 9 to 1 when it comes to women. 9. Wow. I mean 9. I'm talking a percentage, right? 9 to 1. Well done
to iCentra. Well done to iCentra.
So Femi wanted to say something.
Yeah, just I would just like to say that I cannot disagree with what Karen has said. From my own experience, I have seen that women are generally better organizers than men. Women are also more detailed on issues than men. Women want to understand the root cause. They want to go into the in-depth of what the issue is. And these two, being very organized and a focus on details is a good requirement to be successful in project management. So yes, Karen, I cannot disagree with you.
Thank you, Prof.
Prof, you have to agree with us. So, numbered here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can attest to the fact that one of the best female project managers that I've come across is Ifeanyi, for example, in my work at FRS. And I can also mention that of Alima Usman and the rest of them.
Yeah,
of course. These are fantastic, professionals. So that takes me to the next question. How can we contribute to produce more, advanced, project management professionals in forms of, PfMP, PGMPs? Because right now, even though we have more certified project managers, around who are women, but in the field of advanced project management, which is, having, program management, portfolio management certification, we have less female. So how can we, contribute to producing more certification holders in our individual countries? I think let's take Saudi Arabia, for example. Hanan, you can speak to that.
Thank you.
If Saudi Arabia can produce someone like you, PMP, PGMP, first PGMP in Saudi Arabia, the whole of Saudi Arabia, the first PfMP in Saudi Arabia, what can we do to contribute to developing more women in advanced project management?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tawfiq. Really, this is a great question. Alhamdulillah, we have seen remarkable increase in advanced project management certification in Saudi Arabia recently. Currently, Saudi Arabia ranked the second globally in number of PfMP certifications. 33 of the total number of PGMP certifications were recorded in the last 14 months. Equally, 48 of the total number of PfMP certifications in the kingdom were recorded in the last 14 months. We believe this is partially in response to the acquisition of the advanced portfolio management human capacity and capability towards Saudi Vision 2030. In the coming months ahead, we will see more men and women taking PMI exam in PMP, PGMP, and PfMP in the kingdom, inshallah.
So I think this question cannot be limited to Hanan. So we have in the house right now. Okay, if anyone wants to say something.
Yeah, just to say something on what Hanan has said. So Hanan, thank you so much for providing these great statistics about the growth of PGMP and PfMP certification in Saudi Arabia. So you said 33% of PGMPs in Saudi Arabia were recorded in the last 14 months. I just want to be clear. Do you mean 33% of the total PfMP? So these statistics you mentioned, 33 of PGMP and 48 of PfMP, are you referring to percentage or numbers? Can you clarify that, please?
Yes, it's a percentage of the total number of, for 33 of the total number of PGMP certifications, and equally 48% of the total number of PfMP certifications were recorded also in the last 14 months.
So that is a remarkable growth rate. Thank you so much, Hanan.
Absolutely.
Okay. So for Karen and Ifeanyi, both of you are, first ladies in your own rights, professionals in your own rights. I'm sure a lot of women look up to you. Ifeanyi, you've broken record in Nigeria, and I'm sure at FRS, a lot of people look up to you. Karen, from being an architect, you're playing in the development sector, and you're winning laurels. How can we develop more, female advanced project management professionals at programs and portfolio level? Because that is at the leadership level of project management. Karen first, and let's make this 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. And I think that, these things we do where, we go ahead and become certified and share our success stories is really important, because there are others who are there not knowing how to go about, getting professionalized or even making advancements in their careers. So I think that there is definitely room for some PR, if you like, on how these types of certifications can be achieved. And then for us, using our various networks, we can try and spread the word and give show people how to, get into this, to basically grow in their own careers. I think that's one sure way, to try and expand this field. And with mentors like you and Prof, I think that we've got a solid starting point at this point.
Thank you. Ifeanyi.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with Karen. She just took that right out of my mouth. Because then when I prepared for this, what I could think about is awareness, mentorship. I know that lots of women would want to do this, but most times it is, how do I go about it? Or it seems like a daunting process. It seems overwhelming. But, just having your fellow sister to talk to and say, oh, no, you can do this. Don't worry, you can do this. I think it will go a long way. So mentorship will be one for me. That's encouraging my fellow sisters. And then, yes, awareness. And then creating opportunities for women, most especially. You can see the statistics in Nigeria is not that fantastic, So, drawing more women into that sector, I think that should help. That's my humble opinion. Yeah.
Okay. And Tooba? How do we do this in Pakistan?
Okay, so if I talk about my country, the number of certified PfMPs that we have are only 7. And this is very sad because before I did that, the last person who did that was in 2019. So in the past 1.5 years, nobody ever tried to earn this certification. And I certainly agree with Ifeanyi and Karen that this is only about the lack of awareness. People are actually not aware. They are actually doing that professionally, but they are not aware that by doing this, they will get more insights and more organized and structured way to perform their official and professional responsibilities. So, in my opinion, what we can do to promote is to showcase our own examples to our people via social media networks or via webinars or via some online sessions. This is like one way to do that. Or the other way is to like approach those people who have some influence in the project management area and who can do that for others. And we certainly need in our country people like you and Mr. Premi, because like these kind of people actually promote the good talent. They actually highlight the skills, the talent, the art to not a certain group of people, but globally. I mean, this sort of awareness is required in every country.
Thank you. Thank you, Tooba. The next question is for Ify. Can women work as effectively as program or portfolio managers as men are? You have been there, done that.
Okay. So, what are the strengths of a woman? Emotional intelligence, ability to multitask, adaptability, perseverance, understanding, ability to take risk, humility. These are all, if we look at what the strengths of a program manager or portfolio manager should be, this is about this women, we take it off. So naturally, just like Karen identified, it's almost like we have like some God-given talent to support this. So yes, because of this, I think we have an advantage over men. So probably while the men are still trying to, get used to this other strength, these strengths which we have, while they're still trying to catch up. Yes, we already have that. So while they're doing that, what we're just trying to do is just to top up with our functional skills, being able to apply this functional skills in a structured way. So I think this gives us naturally an advantage. So yes, I think women can work more effectively as a program or portfolio manager, even better than the men. Humbly.
Even as a mother, even as a wife and a mother.
Yes, all of those. And I did mention that.
All right. I'll take you up on that, actually. Which concepts of portfolio management do you find the most interesting and why? And that is for Tooba.
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. So, of course, we have studied all the domains of portfolio management while studying for the PfMP certification. However, if you ask about my opinion, I would say that I find the governance management area most interesting of all. And the reason being that it deals with all of the planning, management and aligning and authorizing and controlling processes. And so it gives you the overall flavor of the portfolio. And governance management basically deals with the house of the portfolio, how the roles and responsibilities will be decided, how the performance and risk and communication management will be taken care of, how the portfolio scope changes will be catered, how the a prioritization among portfolio components will be taken care of. So it actually constructs the main planning area of the portfolio management, and it also is also fascinating to me, as it talks about how the executive management of the portfolio strategies will be driven and how the portfolio will be monitored against them throughout the portfolio life cycle. So in my opinion, a good execution depends on the good planning, and the good planning requires certain strategies, a certain structure, and that structure for portfolio is defined via good governance management, and that is the reason why I like it most.
Okay, fantastic. Stay on there. There's a question from Asad Mirza. I hope I got that right. I'm taking this from the floor. How project management? How is project management different in software management and in comparison with construction management? What are the pros and cons? Do you understand that question?
Is this for me?
Yeah, it's for you.
Okay. Yeah, so project management and software management basically differentiate from the other industries like construction or manufacturing in the way that software project management mainly deals with the agile way of working. And when we talk about the agile framework, we talk about the continuous delivery, we talk about the continuous integration, continuous deployment. So the construction way of project management is usually the waterfall method, number one. And in waterfall method, we plan the whole project in one go, then we execute the project in one go, then we QA the process in one go, then we UAT the project in one go, and then we finally deliver the project in one go. Usually, because like construction project usually cannot be delivered in iterations or in like certain chunks or releases. Software project management, or like any area of IT project management, usually involves the agile or the release-based mode of management and delivery. If that answers the question.
Fantastic. So if you have a question anybody in the audience has a question, please type it in before we get to where we can open the floor for the audience. We can take them on as we have this conversation with the panelists. But because this is around software management, and that's why I threw that to Tooba. The next question will be for Karen. Get ready. What are the challenges program and portfolio management professionals face in different types of organizations? For example, in your organization, what are the challenges? Because you're not just looking at project management. For some of us here who are not very familiar with advanced project management, this is where we connect the organizational strategy with with actual delivery. Okay, so some project managers wonder why their projects, they've done the work right, why their projects is not being given priority, but do not understand why the organization has to do the right work and prioritize, identify, select, and do all of these things that we do at advanced project management level. So Karen, what are the challenges, advanced project management professionals or program managers, portfolio managers face in different types of organizations? Can you just shed more light on it, using your experience?
Okay, thank you so much, Taufik. I think that project management across the different types of organizations would be, similar, maybe not the same, but similar in terms of processes, and the rationale as to why we project manage or portfolio manage our interventions. So, latching on to your point about strategy, like a poorly defined strategy could be a problem. And you find that sometimes even within established organizations, the definition of a strategy or even understanding of, you know, by the project managers or portfolio managers is not usually coherent. So you find that there is a challenge in terms of execution, because if you don't even understand how what work you're doing aligns to that strategy, it's a problem already from the get-go. So, you know, finding ways around defining properly your goals and objectives, the strategic objectives of an organization will go far in terms of ensuring that project or portfolio management excels, right? Then we've got another challenge of keeping teams on the same page. Sometimes in this current world, things change so fast, like there's constant change all the time. And you find that in huge, large teams, you know, keeping people on the same page is a huge task. And sometimes if one area is working on something and is not aware how it impacts on the other, you know, could cause problems. We've got unrealistic deadlines. Everything now is agile, has to move fast, you know, redoing and reinventing and taking stock at different intervals. Sometimes you're pushed to unrealistic deadlines by your bosses and you've got to deliver, you know. So sometimes that puts pressure on you as a project manager or program manager. And then even things as basic as finding the right software could be challenging to work with. Some softwares may be compatible with your type of project, and on another type of project may not be the right software. So those are some of the common challenges. You've got scope creep, where there's a constant changing scope, you know, in programs these days. So you find that juggling all of that, the different moving parts, the budgets growing or shrinking, you have to just manage everything in line with things as they are being dropped on you. And then you've got skills across teams. So like we're just talking about how do we encourage, you know, more uptake in terms of professionalization. We find that skill sets are probably lacking. Sometimes I've been in situations where I've got to reteach or relearn certain skills to be able to move ahead, you know, on different tasks. Communication is also another challenge, or miscommunication, if you like. So keeping people, like I said, you know, how your projects or programs turn out. You know, teamwork, accountability, who holds the ultimate accountability. You know, sometimes you find that in teams there's friction, and those are all things that we need to manage as program managers. I hope that I've been able to touch a few of those you know, challenges that we face in our daily jobs as program or portfolio managers.
Thank you, Karen. So I'll go to Hanan. So what are the specific challenges you see as a woman in advanced project management in your country? And there are some other questions from the participants that I'd like to throw at you. So we need to make this as quickly as possible. By the way, we are live on Facebook.
Sure.
We're live on Facebook, and
thank you, Tawfiq. First, project management. Thank you, Tawfiq. First, project management domain is a field dominated by men in my country, as well as in other countries. We are now seeing more women participation in this field, as women are now well accepted and recognized. For example, I'm also the Central Region Activities Director for PMI-KSA chapter. This challenges. The secondly, we are in short supply of female mentors in field of advanced project management. Female PfMP in the kingdom, and we expect to see more. Organizations in the kingdom and PMI-KSA chapter have done a lot to promote gender equality in the project management in the kingdom.
So, fantastic. Hanan, I have another question from my friend and brother, Chinedum Bonu. By the way, Chinedum Bonu is one of the few triple Ps when you talk about triple Ps, PMP, PGMP, PfMP, we celebrate you a lot. So he said, you know, of course, achieving this certification is daring, you know, and emasculates the men gender, even worse in our patriarchal society where men seem to dominate. Okay, in Nigeria, in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia. So how do you deal with the challenge of domineering men who are intimidated by your success? Do you get that question?
Yes, so we learn from their experience. We also learn from their lesson learned. We are not in a competition. Both of us are completing each other, and this is how we success. Every organization success by their employees, either male or female.
Okay, fantastic. So men and women were not in competition, right? So let's meritocracy, come forward before we even start looking at gender issues. But again, my friend Nkem Joseph Palmer, one of the most recent PfMP certification holder, is also in the house. He's also saying, gender is an issue. So all over the world. So even in project management, what are the challenges women face, in your countries? For example, let's take Tooba. To throw more light on that.
Yeah. Okay. Will you please repeat the question, Mr. Tawfiq?
Yeah. Gender is a big issue all over the world, right?
Yeah.
So what are the challenges that, being a female, for example, you have been in the software industry, a software, programmer, which is dominated by men. You've been a project manager. You've been now you're a portfolio manager. What are the issues that you face, especially in your country?
So naturally, like the Hanan said, we face these similar kind of issues in Pakistan as well. So in Pakistan, men tend to be overrepresented in leadership positions in industries where project management predominates, like IT, engineering, manufacturing. And this is because that this has to be a usual practice since the start. Though in project management field, women are like coming, and they are working as well. They are evolving their skill set. However, in the program and portfolio management field, I can still say that the ratio is not even. Even like 8:2. It is like probably 9:1 right now, and we face this issues that usually the senior management positions or the C executive positions or the senior management leadership positions usually do not come to us, only because that there is a mindset, there is a thought in their mind that women probably may not be like the right fit for these roles. So we also feel and face these issues in our country as well.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to throw two questions to Karen and Ifeanyi respectively, and these are from the audience. Okay. Atoyeshe Dembo say he agrees with Chinedu, especially when in an environment where men don't want to report directly to women. Please, can you share any of the experiences where you have, this, this from women, from men folk, because you are the project manager and they feel, maybe slighted that why should I be reporting to a woman? Because in some culture, men are not supposed to lead. Karen, you want to say that because you deal in the development sector and you do things across Nigeria, so you may have one or two experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe that it's, as it would probably be mostly experienced by women, because at the end of the day, even in the workplace, you get that, especially in cultures where, it's male dominated to a certain degree. it's a struggle to try and find like your male subordinates trying to, you know, meeting your requirements or meeting your demands or meeting the timelines you give for certain deliverables. But at the end of the day, you find that it's a partnership, and as much as possible, it's teamwork. So part of the skills of a project manager is navigating all those unspoken, you know, issues or challenges, if you like. So your ability to be emotionally intelligent to deal with all of this is crucial when it comes to managing men who feel they cannot be reporting to you, or you know, there are various issues, you know, like that. I mean, on one project particularly, we had a problem where someone was supposed to have done a report and didn't do it. It was time to submit the report, and it was like, oh, it was not his fault, it was mine because I had ultimate responsibility. But you know, not doing the job for the person was definitely the right way to go, because it then sets a precedent for the future, and then you don't want to be doing that in a workplace. Their roles and responsibilities, those need to be clearly defined. We all need to stay professional, and then, you know, try as much as possible to find the lines where we can all agree, and then foster those relationships so that we're able to work and deliver. So I think
Karen,
it's a
I hope you're
skill
not
that project
managing us.
managers.
I hope you're not
Not at
massaging our
all.
head.
You guys are fantastic. You have no idea.
Femi, you have the floor. Femi, I wanted to say something before I come to Ifeanyi.
Okay, apologies for forcing me to take you backward, but this is what my question is with reference to questions number 6 and 7, okay, regarding challenges. And this question is directed to Ife and Karen. Okay, so this is the question that I have, right, regarding challenges. How do you manage the demands of your profession, the demands of your work, with the demands of motherhood, raising children, taking care of the home, taking care of your husband, taking care of your family members, your aged parents? How do you manage all these additional responsibilities with the demands of your profession? Project management is very demanding, and also taking into consideration that men do not have these additional responsibilities that the women carry. That is one part of my question. The other one, I want to talk about challenges, which we have to be very frank here, right? The other thing I want to raise here, which nobody has mentioned. So we thank you for giving men the credit, but I have also observed, okay, that women in general in the workplace prefer to report to a man than a woman. In other words, is it true that women generally prefer to have a male, as the direct manager than having a female as a direct manager? And what is the driver for this, if this is applicable to you? But before you answer these questions, let me just briefly do some, with Taufik's permission, to recognize some recent graduates in PMI certifications. Joke Adebosi, MP certified, Yemi Shorore,
female
PMP certified graduate from iCentra, in Ken Palmer of World Bank. We cannot forget you, of course. And also in the house, this has been mentioned. In gatherings like this, we must give a standing ovation for triple Ps, right? There are very few in the world, less than about 1,000. So on that, I recognize Dr. Chinedu Imbono officially, and also Hajia Halima Yusuf, the project management giant from FIRS. You are welcome. So back to my question. Halima Usman, yes, the project management, FIRS project management giant, or Amazon. So my question is back to Karen and Ifeanyi. How do you manage the demands of motherhood, home, with your profession, And what is this talk about? Oh, a woman prefers to report to a man than having a fellow woman as direct manager. Thank you so much.
Okay. Who's going first? Karen or myself?
You're ready first. Go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. I think, well, that's the general perception about women. I would say that, we don't support each other. But let me give you a real life example that I think women, we need to start changing that narrative. And I can see some of my colleagues who we all took the PGMP class together, and they would agree with me that this is what happened. So we had an instance where they grouped us, they put us in groups, and they said we're supposed to do some group work over a 2-week period. I think Professor Femi, he guided us. And, I think the men didn't know that I was still in that webinar session. They were saying, oh my God, because I think they put a man amongst 3 other women. So they were making fun of the man, and they were telling him, oh my God, you're going to be with these 3 women, that you're going to have a tough time in this class. Professor Femi will confirm, it was one of the most cooperative sessions and groups ever. And Professor Femi can confirm that. And when we were always doing our delivery, Dr. Chinedu, our own group, which was the female, we always had we always seemed more organized. And Chinedu and Mr. Victor, who is here, they would be saying, oh, okay, no, it's not this, it's not that. So I think we need to start changing the narrative. Women can actually support women, and we do that. So I think it's just a general heuristic, but really women do support women, and we do that. So that is one. Then now coming to how do we manage multitask with all of these challenges we have? If I say it's easy, I'm lying, and I'm, trying to put a filter on the entire issue. It is daunting. It can be overwhelming at times. But what I've tried to do to, help myself, because it's a journey. It's a journey. So, now when, you're getting all these accolades and all, I'm saying, oh my God, yeah, wow, okay, I've really done this. So what I try to do now, I've also had a fantastic support system. I must say, my husband, he's amazing. And I think he's someone who he doesn't expect less. He expects you to always perform above. So that's one, first of all. Then the second thing is, amidst, the overwhelming feeling and all of that, I have my own personal ambitions. So that also drives me. And then the next thing is, I'm trying to have this as a mantra, that I need to keep celebrating my wins. They may be small, but to somebody else, it's big. So what I've just been trying to do is, to keep celebrating myself, self-love, keep celebrating myself, that look, you're doing something, amidst all this, but it is overwhelming, but just taking baby steps, resting, moving on, my support system, all of this, and having good mentors around me. This has been how I have been able to move so far. It seems like I'm moving. So this has been the way I've been able to move so far in this journey. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I couldn't agree more, with Ify. So it's I mean, to put it plainly, it's a difficult job, right? So you're balancing your family. If you have kids, you've got the husband, and then your professional life, where you've got to show up every day looking super arranged and ready, right? Which is not always the case. Okay. But I think what drives you is knowing that at the end, on the other side, it is worth it. And then if we also talked about like the support system, it is a very crucial, it's a huge part of who we are. So without a support system, I don't know that it would be possible, to, whether it is at the workplace, in the house, your children, how your husband cheers you on, your children, and the support they give to you is really part of the fuel, you know, that keeps you going. And then to cap it and prof, you know, it makes a whole lot of difference. So yeah, I mean, like if you surround yourself with a good support system, the sky is your limit, is what I would say. In terms of Prof's question of women preferring to work with men, I would say it is cliche. You would hear that a lot, but I think that is because opposites attract naturally, you know. So maybe there's something there for a man boss with a female colleague, or a female colleague and vice versa, you know. But I've been lucky to have like good experiences on both ends, and I can't say I have a strong preference, you know, for working with a man over working with a woman. I think I've been lucky, so I can't really say for sure. You know, I'd rather work with a man. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Karen and Ifeanyi. I think the last question will come to Ifeanyi in quick succession. What advice can you give to women in program and portfolio management looking to grow and advance their career? And what is the next step for you, your career?
So for me, first of all, if I, you know, for me, if I say, okay, how do I succeed in a career? So first of all is to have the desire. And then the next thing is, and I want to tell you that you would experience this, where you'd have to ask yourself questions. Can I still succeed? I think I'm afraid I will fail. This is normal. Other people are way ahead of me. It's normal for you to have that kind of feeling. I feel the last time, will I be able to do this? It's normal. I'm not as young as I used to be. Those questions will come to your head. I've never done this before. These things will definitely come to your head, but I think, and this is a mantra for myself. So as I'm saying this, I'm still reinforcing this in my life. And so far, yeah, I think it's helping, but I'm still reinforcing this. And for me, when I ask these questions I just know that from where I am and where I want to be, I need to keep on having self-compassion for myself. Nobody else can be my motivator except myself. This is what I advise people who are in this career path. You have to be your self-motivator, and you have to actively look for and achieve small wins. It doesn't have to be big. And then consistency, because you know, when we measure success, most times, generally, when you measure success, you're measuring success based on your salary or the job title. That may not be commensurate. And if you look at that, it may or may not encourage you. So irrespective of all of this, we have to give a new matrix to measure your success. And a new matrix for measuring your success is that you're looking for small wins. You're loving yourself, you're staying consistent, and you're being patient and resting in between your small wins. So this is what I would tell my fellow sisters in this area, that look, in your journey, in your project management field journey, in your success, in your career journey, these are the things you need to look at. So for me, and this also relates to the last question, which is, what's the next step for me in my career? Oh, there are lots of things I dreamed I would want to do. Like I said, job title, you know, because of my own ecosystem, job title and career may not be like a measure because of the ecosystem of my sector. So so for me, I'm looking at small wins, you know. There are several things I want to achieve. There's several sectors I would want to play, you know, to have access to. So I would just, you know, keep being consistent in my effort towards achieving these dreams I have. But I do have great ambitions. Portfolio management, yes, it's on the burner for me. amongst many other things. So
so much, Ifeanyi. I'm going to take two questions from the audience, and anybody can answer this question. I'll prefer to take it to Hanan and Tooba. Adikemi said, starting a PM career, what advice would you have for somebody starting a PM career? Hanan? Okay, Tooba, okay. What advice would you have for somebody starting a PM career?
Okay.
As somebody to, divert into project management, should they get experience before taking certification? What opportunities are there? Just
okay.
You can relate to your life experience.
Yeah, so let me take this question. And if someone wants to get into this career, the project management career, the first advice that I would like to give him or her is to stay consistent, because this journey can be like full of bumps, and this journey can be like full of challenges. So not everyone can take these challenges in the very start, because the role of project management or a project manager essentially it is not an easy one. It is very demanding. You have to be like on your toes every time. So first of all, my first advice would be to stay dedicated and consistent and determined. The next step would be like on the technical ground and on the professional ground, you probably need to have the right pathway, the right direction for you to pursue this career. And for that, probably some certifications, say PMP certification, and if you are like into IT business, probably ACP certification, CSM certifications. These are all helpful certifications. There is a complete safe framework available in the market these days. So pick up the right certification based on your skill set, and get your direction very straight from the very start. And also, project management is not something that you only learn. Project management can be learned in true essence by practicing. So if you are not into that role, try to get some professional role for you to practice those learnings that you are gaining via some certification. That would be my advice to them. And so project management demands some qualities. Like there are some certain traits that a project manager need to possess. They need to be a good coach. They need to be a good people manager. They need to be a good communicator and good negotiator. But those qualities can be learned with time. Some of them can be learned, and some of them need to be like inbuilt in you. So if like a person is willing to opt this career, then first need to assess, are they like the right material for project management? And then if they think so, then they should go with the like other advices.
Engineer Victor has been raising his hands and also posted a question, and it is to all the women. And how do you great first ladies plan to encourage more project management participation for women in your country, especially women to participate in leadership for good governance? Now, I'm going to add this to a question that I want all of you to sign off with. You can answer that question individually, but in this particular order: Tooba, Karen, Ife, and Hanan. Tell us about you. You answer this question, each one of you. Tell us about your program management certification experience and the role that mentorship played towards your certification. Then you can answer this question, starting with Tooba.
Okay, so if you ask me, my portfolio management, my portfolio management certification experience is all about the right mentorship, and that has come from Mr. Ifeanyi. My PfMP experience was comparatively a calm and smooth ride. After I met Mr. Ifeanyi by the end of December 2020, I actually had a long desire to earn this certification, and I had been aiming for that for the past 1.5 years, at least. However, like many others, I had been facing issues of getting the right mentorship and getting the right learning path to opt it. And the biggest challenge that I had faced was to get the right support to fill out the PfMP application to PMI. And to those in the audience who are new to PfMP certification and who are aiming to earn it in the future, let me tell you that the PfMP application process is a very extensive exercise, and it requires like attention to details and the right guidance and the right, and the success to it alone gets you done with the 30 to 35% of the certification process already. So he has been my mentor for the overall certification process. He guided me with the application process. He guided me with the exam preparatory instructions and the material. And Mr. Femi made the complete certification process so easy for me, and in less than 2 months time. And he made the teachings of the portfolio management standards so easy to understand for all of the students in the class.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tooba. We need to make this as short as possible. For Karen, tell us about your program management and portfolio management certification, your certification experience, and what role mentorship play towards that. And if possible, you can answer the question how you plan to encourage more, more participation of women in project management and in leadership.
Yeah. Thank you, Taufik. So my journey, I think, took all of maybe 3 months when I met Professor Femi of PPMC and then eventually Taufik of iCentra. I mean, you guys came well recommended by colleagues who had worked with you and could attest to your firm commitment in terms of their own studies through various certifications, whether it was PMP, PGMP, or the portfolio management profession. You know, the certification for me was also to test my knowledge and experience, also to get some sort of validation as to whether, okay, do I really know what I say I know? Or, how good am I? I often wonder if I could compete, on the international scene, given all the experience I've had, I can tell you that the process was very rewarding, particularly because of the mentorship aspect. The journey wasn't easy. As a mother, we've already talked about that. In a full-time career, there were days I felt like giving up. But, for the strong mentorship, there were days I would wonder, in typical Nigerian speak, I would often send me, come do this. What is this? But I eventually would remember that, I had to be accountable to Prof. When Prof calls me on that call, I need to tell him what progress I had made, and then I'd sit up, So to be honest with you, those were driving and key factors that pushed. And even when I felt like giving up, I told myself, I said, okay, you didn't start to come up to this point and then just give up. So I'm most thankful for this support, I mean, this mentorship sticks with you through your preparations right up to the examination point. I mean, it's short of entering the exam hall with you, and it's also there to rejoice with you with your success. The support has been genuine, second to none and unrivaled, in my opinion. I think that this is one mentorship, relationship that has turned into true friendship. And I hope that I can have you and Prof, that's Femi Prof, as true friends, going forward. I'm just grateful for the community of like-minded people, most especially mentors that challenge my thinking, challenge me to be the best that I can be, and that I can call on at any time, which is very important to me. Ultimately, I've had a great time, and thank you so much, because I don't know that I could have done it without your support. So just to say thank you at this point, and keep doing what you're doing. It's definitely working. I'm sure we'll be back to celebrate more victories. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for also putting Nigeria on the global map. Ifeanyi?
Okay.
I want you first of all answer the question how you intend to use, your clouds to inspire more, encourage more women into project management and leadership position, whether in the organization or whether. Nobody has answered that question. So I want you and Hanan to answer that question also, while you're telling us, about your certification experience and the role that mentorship played.
Okay, all right. For this this particular question, I think it has to be a symbiotic relationship or a symbiotic effort between the project management body in Nigeria, besides myself, between the efforts on the project management body in Nigeria, and then on my own, that when I have access or when I have relationship with ladies who have questions, that I encourage them. To keep pushing and then chattering the ceiling. So besides the fact that I would always encourage ladies to go ahead and go into this field, I would think that the project management body would have to create maybe relationship with organizations, so that we can create opportunities for women, because let's be honest, people want to go into areas where they feel that you have opportunities for them. So maybe that's something that needs to be considered. A relationship, PMI has a relationship with organizations in Nigeria. I'm saying PMI Nigeria, so that you can recommend, you can have a pool of women that you recommend in the project management field and say, okay, and this is what when we're talking about inclusivity for women, so I think that's the advantage we can beg for, or not beg for, we can push for. So so that while myself, Karen, Hanan, Tooba in our various areas are saying women, we need to keep on chattering the ceiling. We also have, our own project management bodies who would be out there making information available, creating more opportunities for us, so that everything just works together, and we have an expansion in that in this sector in our various countries. And now to the last question. My program management experience was intense. It was intense. And I would say, just like Karen said, it was rewarding. I remember when I finished the exam, it felt like I could carry the world. That was the feeling. It just felt like I could do so much. I had conquered the world. That was the feeling I had. However, I must be realistic with my fellow ladies. You need to be dedicated. For you to go on this journey, you need to set aside some time. You need to say, no, I'm going into this and I'm going to come out, because you need to give it all of your effort.
I cannot agree more with what my colleagues just mentions. Really, my project and portfolio management certification journey was very challenging, but it's rewarding. It involved long hours of study and sacrifice. For example, I took 2 weeks vacation to study prior to each exam. My family is also sacrificed a lot during this journey. Alhamdulillah, it's really a great reward to be the first PPP certified lady in the Saudi Arabia. As we say in portfolio management, the benefits exceed the cost. I would like to deeply thank my coach and trainer, Mr. Femi Adubulebe of PPMC iCentra, for his exceptional training and knowledge transfer.
Thank you so much. So what are you going to do? How are you going to encourage more women to do this?
Yes, I really encourage all of the women around the world to join to go in the project management, if they are really interested, if they are seeing it as a field where they can grow and build their career path. It is, as we all say, it is really full of challenging, but it is rewarding. It's worth. You need to be fully dedicated. You need to select the right mentorship, as it's really a key, a golden key for the success. Just be patient, study hard, and inshallah you will see yourself there.
Thank you so much, Hanan. I'll personally want to recognize the question from Ejira so that it doesn't feel like nobody answered your question, Ejira. What to expect transitioning into project management? I wouldn't say that you should expect less. A lot of hard work. Project management requires a lot of attention to details. It requires a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of tenacity. All the attributes that all these fantastic women have stated. Project management is a field that brings out the best in you, but also very, very tasking. So transitioning into project management would be the best decision of your career. However, you need to find the right mentorship, the right network, and also look for the right system, right support system that can encourage you. The certification is not the first thing to do in project management. Find the experience, intern or volunteer somewhere where you can learn and be in the experience. In the environment where you can experience project management.
Yeah, okay, Taufik. Let me just say just something very, very briefly, just 1 or 2 minutes. You asked Hanan a question by saying that how does Hanan need to get more people into project management? I think the way to do that, the best way to do that is for Hanan to get females, to direct them to the iCentra website to go through the course catalog and enroll for PGMP, PfMP, or PMP certification. That would be the best way to do it, right? Get people to go to the iCentra website to enroll for these classes, okay? The year 2021 has been the year of the female gender. This is a year where we have seen the first female lead the World Trade Organization, the first female vice president in the United States of America. And just a few hours ago, a couple of days ago, the first female president in Tanzania. It is indeed the year of the female gender, and exactly what we see in the space of project management. The year 2021, the first female PfMP from Nigeria, first female PfMP from Pakistan. In the couple of days, in the couple of weeks ahead of us, we're also going to have the first female triple P from Nigeria, possibly also from Pakistan. So what do we see here? Very clear. The year 2021 is best described as the year of the female gender. I want to say we have seen 4 women today, very committed women, professional women, represent themselves very well, represent the female gender, represent their profession, and above all, represent their countries excellently today. Myself and iCentra cannot be better proud of you.
And I want to particularly thank the first ladies in the house. Karen, Bello,
thank you, sir.
Francis-Shokoya, I know my heart for you. Tooba, Mirza.
Thank you, sir.
Hanan.
Thank you.
Almaziad. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Adebola Malu. Thank you very much. And not forgetting my friend, my brother, and my partner, Femi Adebugbe. We call him Professor, a mentor of all mentors. Thank you very much for your time.